Hi, welcome back to the course Modeling of Digital Service. In our last video, we were able to create the header for Laria website. And today we're going to look at the slider or the carousel. Before then, let's quickly sort of preview what we have done before. So we've also added the interaction already. So as you can see, you can mouse over them. And then we also looked at the adaptive views, that is the responsiveness of it. So if I select, let's say, desktop, then this is how the desktop looks like. If I select portrait, this is how the portrait looks like for the header. And then, of course, this is the mobile. And all of them, we also have the these links that we will be looking at as we go ahead. But today in this video we'll be looking at the carousel, and let's take a quick look. So this is how the carousel look like. Currently they have 4 sliders, and there is an application ongoing, but let's look at the behavior of this. So if we click here, it goes to the it slides to the right, but if we click back, then it slides to the left. So you can see if you are going to if you are heading towards the right, then all the slides are coming to the left, and then when you are coming back, then they are going to the right. So take note of this. And I've already taken the liberty to go and check the hide and stuff like that. I've downloaded the images, so we will go straight to actual and start to do this. So let's head over to that. And to do this, we need 2 dynamic panels. Before we do that, so this is one dynamic panel that you click something and it shows. And here too, once I click this, so this is one dynamic panel we can use, and the other one is a dynamic panel. And as I said, the dynamic panel is used to show or hide things, and then when you need them to show, then you can easily show them. So let's pick here, and once you can select all, or if you don't see it, just pick the default, and from here you can pick the dynamic panel. In this case, if you've been following, we have already like the whole width of this, the dimension is 1920 pesos. As I said, I've already checked. Let's put 1920 here, and here I think the height, as I have checked, is 400 and something. So let's, for example, put it as 450 in our case. So this is the full slider. So from here we can create states. So state 1 will be the first slide, state 2 could be the second slide, or if we just want to name it according to that, let's click here, and the dynamic panel we just put there, let's name it slider or carousel, anyway, anyhow you want it. And then here we can say maybe slider 1, and then we can probably copy the same thing several times. Okay, it's not doing that one. Slider 2, slider 3, and then lastly but not the least, slider 4. Slider 4 here. Okay, good. So if we look at it from here, we have part of it an image and part of it background and a text. So let's try to do this. What I'll do first, image, I'll just go and drag. Of course you can just use this one, and then from here just select the image you want. In our case, the first one is this one. I'll just drag and drop it here, and then if you want to resize it, just hold on the shifts and just drag it that way. In this case, maybe this is this part is maybe too huge, but let's check what we have. I think it's more of half. Okay, maybe that should be fine because this is more like 1/3 of the whole thing. So let's keep it that way. And then you just pick any sort of let's just put a rectangle here and try to push it maybe this way. I don't want it to have, okay, so let's see how many. Let me just push this one in a little bit so we have full visibility of what we are doing. Okay, and of course I just hold on the control, and then I was just using my mouse to make it a little bit smaller, maybe too small in this case, so let's increase it a little bit. Now from here I will select this and maybe hide the border. I don't need the border, but I need this to be like slant a little bit. So what you can do, you can right click on the image and say transform and then edit points. That is one way. Or just double click on the line of this, and then you can see that this will change to diamond. If I just increase it, you see here it's changing to diamond, and then I can easily turn it this way. So now we have a similar, okay, now this is going two-way over the image, so I'll bring it a little bit so we have it like that. And if we check what we have here, the first slide, I think this guy is coming a little bit, so that should be fine. We can even probably even bring it a little bit here and shift this one a little bit forward like that. Good. So we can copy the same thing to the other states. So but first let's add also the title. So if we look at the text there, I'll just use the same text so we don't go on and on with the video for too long. Of course you can just do this and copy there. In this case I'll just click here, highlight over this, and I should have the text right here. Just copy that and then back to here. In the previous video I showed that I already sort of created some Laria library for myself, and so let's look at that. Maybe this is something. So all the headers here is about 46 or so, so we could easily place it like that. It's already created, and here we can just drag it that way. So let's take it this way like that. And then the bottom, I already created something here. Can just drag and drop that one and say apply now. Okay, so now we could easily copy paste the same thing to the other state. So this is the state 1 which we just did. So if we click here to state 2, okay, I may have placed this one outside the whole state, so it should be inside the state 1. If I just go back and let's go here, so and here if we go, this shouldn't show because this should be empty. So state 2, I haven't put anything there. So what I can do now, click outside and make sure I cut this image from here. It should be inside state 1, so I'll place it there. And now we see that it's also, oops, let's just do undo. Yes, now it's also covering this one. So if I select this one and click back, let me make sure I put it to the right place. It's a bit sensitive, so you need to be really careful when doing these ones. anything you click will just pops up like that. But let's go back home. This is the home, and I'll try to place this one way back, so now we can have visibility to what we are doing. And here now, if we go to the outline, but before then, let me see. Okay, good. So this is now inside this one, and then we can just set it back, and this will be on top of that. Good. Now if we just select everything we have with the shift, select everything. Of course, make sure you are inside this one. So select, 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 and select, and just copy that one. And now if we go to slider 2, you see it's empty, and we can paste it. What I want to change here is this image, so I'll just click on it, and I think the slider 2, if we go back quickly and check slider 2, is these guys. So we will just go here, and I already, as I said, downloaded the images, so I think it's this one. Let's put it there. Perfect. And then again, just let's change only those ones, so we can, I'll just go ahead and place them there. Slide 4. So now we have all of them, and let's again check what kind of I'll just take this one off. Slide 2, we have these guys, and slide 3, we have the umbrella guys. So let's go back to, okay, we are already here, so let's look for this one, the umbrella. Perfect. Positioning, and then we take the second one. I think they were sitting somewhere, so let's check. There it is. So we can also place this one here. So now that we have these, we have all the 4 slides content, and the only thing is, of course, change this one. So let's quickly do that. I will just, this is info for new LARA students, read more, so that'll be the 4th one. I think we are already in the 4th one, so info for new LARA students, I think, and then I think it's students, and then here it says read more here. Okay, I see that it's overlapping, so we can a bit and move this one a little bit. Good. And then of course we can select these 2, make sure we are placing them well, and the size is also 46. So let's go back and check the other test. So information, actually, for new LARA student, I think I may have mixed that one. Information for new LARA student. Perfect. And then we check let's check the second one. We can actually just inspect and easily copy the tests also from here. So could use that, and let's go back to the second, select, and then place the tests there. The moment you click outside, it jumps to the first slide, so you have to always make sure you are in the right one by just checking this side. And then here I think the button might be a bit longer, so I'll just do this. Let's just make this side a little bit bigger, so you can, the visibility will be much more there for you. So again, let's check here, and then I can copy the required text from here. Copy, and then here we can paste it there. Okay, you realize that maybe I don't need this too huge thing back here. So once I select it, I can go to the style, and maybe what I can do, once it's there, we can align the text to the left side, and then we come down here and maybe place it like, okay, let's put 50 pesos. So then we have a reasonable space there, and then we can again drag this one a little bit. Perfect. So you could see that now it's much more aligned. And then I'll just quickly put it a little bit back so you can have a full view of what we are doing. And lastly, but not the least, will be the third one, which is here. Just click on it and it should be here. So let's just copy that and then make sure you select the third slide and then just paste it. Perfect. And the text button was read more about Open UAS. So read more about Open UAS. Now again, this is longer, so let me just make it big so you can have proper visibility. I'll again align this to the left, and left padding could be 50. And then, oh, okay, so the moment you click outside, it jumps to the first slide. Now I think we are on the third slide, so I'll just click that one and then drag this one here. Perfect. Now what we need to do, we've already done the fourth one. So if we go back to the home and select the home, we have a complete dynamic panel with all the four. But what we need to do now is how do we ensure that we are moving them. And then we're going to create another dynamic panel for this. So what I'm going to do is go here and select the dynamic panel. We can place it anywhere. So let's just push it as this, should be fine. And here what I'm going to create is basically this one, these small circles that is driving the slider or the carousel. So here again, I can go to the outline and make sure that I just let's name it as slider controller or something, or control. Good. So maybe because like we can just keep it as state 1, state 2, or slider 1 controller or something. So for now, let's just copy it 4 times. Oh, but you can again drag and drop to rearrange them like that. So now we have it 1 up to 4. Now let's start with the first one. If we click, it's empty, but I can just drag, let's say, this eclipse, and from here I can just make sure it's going to fit into this one, and I can just copy, or just with the control drag and drop it 4 times. Now I need to make sure that they are all evenly spaced out inside this, so I can just select that, and here just click on this and everything will be spaced out. Now I can again make sure that I'm filling this first one with this color, and maybe hiding the border, so that the first slider means that we've selected something. And then now let's try to add interaction to this. So if user is clicking on that one, which is the second one, we will then direct this one to the slider or state 2 in this case. And then we are also making sure that when you click on this one, then the slider will change to slider 2. So all that I need to do is to, let me just move this a little bit, go to interaction. With this selected, I'll just click on click or on tap. So on click or on tap, what do we want to do? We want to change panel state or the dynamic state. So we will click there, and then from here we can say that, okay, so this is also good that you name your, so what do we want to change? We want to change the slider. When we click this one, we want to change the slider state from slider 1 to slider 2. At the same time, we want to make sure that the image or whatever is coming, the slider is sliding to the left side because we are moving towards this. I explained this at the beginning. And this is the speed of it. So let's leave it as it is. And then here you just leave it the same way and then click OK. We can add another, because when we click on this also, we want to make sure that the slider control will be set to state 2, where it's again going to be selected. So in this case, I'll just click add action and click set the slider control to state 2. We don't need to push any interaction or sort of animation on that. So we could do the same here. What you can do also, you can copy and your interaction to another and then edit. For example, I can click with this and then shift select, these two are selected, copy, and then once I click on this, I can just right click here and say maybe I'll just paste here. Let's just see, can I paste? Should be possible. Okay, could be that it changed this, but let's see. It's here, paste. So you can click on there and then you paste, and then now this is going to be state 3. So I'll change this to state 3, and then I'll change this to state 3. That's it. And then I can do the same. Paste, state 4, and then the next one, this one will also go to state 4. Now this was state 1, so I'll select everything there, and then here I'll copy paste the same thing. But in state 2 of this is supposed to be selected and this is not supposed to be. So all that I need to do is to maybe change the position. So when we are on state 2, this should be, and then again I'll make sure that these are evenly distributed. Okay, so when we are on state 2, then our slider is in slider 2, then this should be like this. And here I need to make sure that this is rather, when you click on this button, it is taking you to slider 1, so not slider 2. So I'll change this to slider 1. But again, as I explained, if I'm moving back, then the slider should go this way. So in this case, I'll change it to the right side and click done. And at the same time, when I click, it should take me to state 1 of this. Good. And then we can then move forward. Again, I can just copy the same thing that I see here. Okay, let's just select. Let's make sure again it's taking me back to the first one. Oh, wait a second. So I made a mistake. Instead of I think when I clicked outside, it took me back here and I changed the first one. So instead of, so what I will do now, I'll just click here. select all of these, cut them, and then I'll place them to slider 2. So then I'll just do this. I'll undo. Let's paste them and drag them down, and then take these one back to slider 1, because this was what is supposed to be in slider 1. Cut. And now if I go back here, I can paste these ones. So now all that I did is to swap them because I made some mistake there. So now I can again keep this one in its rightful place. Okay, good. So this is how the slider 2 should look like. And then we need to go to slider 3. So what if we are clicking on this, we're supposed to be taken to slider 3. And so from here, if we go back to state 3, I'll just drop this one. So on this page, all that I need to do, okay, again, it's taking me back to 1. So that's a bit tricky. Let's click here and make sure we are now, because I just pasted that one. So now I'll just push this one to the third one and push this one here. Good. Now it means that when we are in state 3, slider 3, which is this one, then this should be the focus. And here, I think this one should rather be slider 1. And then here should also be slider 1. Remember, I just took it from here, and that's why it's having the 3, 3. And this is in the right place, and this is also 4. You check when I click, you see the interactions. Now we are moving on to the last one, which is state 4. Let's just close this so we know. So when we are in state 4, this side, let me just paste, then we should be on slider 4. But here, what I need to do, I need to make sure this is then like that, and this is replacing this one. And here, this is, as you know, this should be slider 2. So I'll change this to slider 2. I hope this is clear enough. I'm just making it faster a little bit. That's why I'm just copying and pasting here. Good. And then, but let's see. As I said, if we are here and we are moving back, then the images should be moving to this direction, which is the right direction. So now if we check this one, it should say that move to the right. That is all we need to do. Make sure the sliders are moving to the right direction. So right side. And the speed, we can keep it as it is. This is okay. Let's check here again. So once we are here, this should be third one. I think again I may have made a mistake there. So the third one, this should rather be here, and this should go. So let's again. It's a bit tricky. Now that I click outside, immediately it has been set to state 1. So I need to click here again to get what I want. So here, let's see the interactions. This should be 3, and it should be rather, okay, actually this should be 2. So second, and this should move to the right side. And don't forget, we should set this to state 2 as well. And then here, this is in the right position. We don't need to do anything there. Let's check the second one. So here we have in state 2, and that means that the slider 2 should be selected. So if we click here, this is fine, this is fine, and that is okay. And then the first one, I think it may have come. So let's do it again. This goes here, and this comes here. So here we need to make sure this is saying third one, number 3, and it's going to the left. Fine. And this should be number 3 as well. So all that I'm doing is that I have created two let's just quickly summarize what we have done. So we have two dynamic panels, the slider controller, which is this one, and then the slider. So the slider have 4 different slides, and then the controller also have 4 different states. So here, that is when we are in this state 1, then the slider should be slider 1. When we are in state 2, so you notice that the image that is showing when I mouse over, you see the second circle is then selected. When I click here, you see that the third circle is selected. I think this is not well organized. So what I would do, if I click and select them here, I can then place them or just align them better. So that's it, what we have done. Let's preview this and see what's okay. Now we also need to position this one well. So all that I need to do is to select this and drag it to some part of our image. So let's place it here, so an example. And now let's preview what we have. Perfect. So if I click on this one, perfect, it goes to the second one. If I click on that, it goes to the third one. If I click on that, it goes to the fourth one. When I'm coming back, they are sliding back to the right side. So if you compare this to the original one, this is the original one. So this is the same. The only thing I have added is that I hit this part being empty there in the original one. So I place the image to be more, to cover the whole area. Maybe it could have even come in a little bit more. But yeah, you get the, oh, it's so big. Okay. Again, the main focus is for you to get the idea how to do this slider. The other thing, quickly, I will just do one and then we can then move forward, is the adaptive or responsive size. So let's just do one for the front, just the first part. So if I just go here, you realize that now this is out of the desktop view. So all that I need to do now, this effect means that if I select that one and I'm here, if I change anything in the other one, it might affect this one, and I don't want that. So let's keep it as it is. And here I can just simply come here and just rearrange this one in a way that will be much more easy on the eye. So let's take it this way and then push this one here like that. Of course, we can also use the opportunity to arrange this side. And again, I can, oops, undo. I can take this one all the way back somewhere here. So that was the first, and then we can go on to the slider 2. Again, do the same. I should have done this together. Okay, so let's do it this way and push this one a little bit up here, and then again place this back. So that is basically how to make sure. And then let me mention here, if you inspect the whole current website, you realize that if we go all the way to inspect, once we are on the desktop, the font size is the same as the other one, which is 46. But when we switch to tablet, let's put 100%. When we switch to tablet, the font size is now 38. And then when we switch to mobile, which is, let's use iPhone for example, and still keep it at 100%. Here, if we check the header, then it's 32. So we should keep this in mind. It's not always like the font will stay the same. So when you are actually planning your star guide, you need to define all of these for mobile and for other screens. So now we can arrange it this way. And then last but not the least is that one. I can quickly again select these, place it somewhere here, and then again maybe this goes that way a little bit. Good. So at least we are done with the desktop. And then tablet. Once I'm on tablet, it's quite a bit tricky here. If I change the size of this, it might still affect the whole thing. So on tablet, what I'll do, I'll delete this one, and then I'll place a new image for myself. And then again, as I said, you can click on the line to get this, and then you can basically place it that way. We don't need the border. Let's click outside and drag this one a little bit like that. And now we can place these ones inside that one. Let's bring it front. And then again, let's select this one. Oh, let's go back to tablet, and let's just home, and we are on the tablet. And I think if we go back here, we're supposed to be on, maybe was it the first one? Oh, did I delete it by mistake or what? Portrait tablet. Let me just increase it because it's too small here for you to see. Good. And then let's see which slide did I do. Okay, not this one. Was it the fourth one? Oh, okay. And it was not this one. Oh, this was the desktop and this is the tablet. Okay, let's do that. I'll just do one just for you to see. So I'll just from here take this one out, and then I'll take a new. Of course, once you get to this side, what you can do is to make sure that this is also, I think I should have dragged it all the way here, and maybe I didn't do it here, so let me do the same here as well. We need to drag this to align with the desktop, and then here we have the portrait. That is done now, and I can drag this one somewhere here. Okay, now you realize that if we click, then we can see this one. So here we deleted the background and we want to place a new one. I also noticed that now this is not covering the whole entire, so I can just select it with this and drag it to fit into it. And then I can also increase this now. Okay, let's keep it like that. And maybe from here we can easily hide the border, and then double click with this. We can then slide it a little bit, or maybe just drag this a little bit up. And now let's again make it a little bit smaller, and then with this select these and drag them here. Let's make them be more visible. And then here on tablet is supposed to be 38 and not as 46. So that could be, and I can actually also increase this a little bit here. Oops. So let's go back. If I click, let's just do that and then drag this a little bit up. Okay, let's I'm not done with all the state because now we have to go to each state, but I think the video is getting longer, so let's preview this. I hope you get the idea of. So here we have, as already mentioned, we have this one done, And from here, if we select the desktop, then everything again is in sync. And then if I go back and select portrait, so here, as you can see, and of course I needed to drag make the dynamic panel a little bit longer, and that's why you don't see it this way. So if we go back here and then we selected this, we can drag this one a little bit down here, so then it's making all these visible. And then what else do we have there? Okay, let's quickly preview this, or maybe make this one a little bit down here, and then even this one we can drag it a little bit down. And now if we go back to preview, let's straight away go to portrait. So now you see they are visible here, and we can again have all the, of course I haven't done the other state, and that's why you still see this one. So that means I will have to go back and then click on, let's say, state 2, state 1. Okay, this is what we did. State 2, we again have to delete this. What I'm going to do, let's go straight to state 1, or slider 1, and copy the background, because that's what we need. We need the same for every slider. And then slider 2, now that was deleted, I'll place this one here. I'll make sure this image is now stretched out to fit, and then we can select our images here, or our elements, and then bring them forward like that. And now if we go back again, so this is the second one I have done. So if we go straight away to tablet and then we click on second one, everything is done nicely. And then you can go ahead the same way with the phone and stuff like that. I hope this was helpful for you. Let's continue in the next video. Thanks for watching.